Teammates, the 515, Chief Smith coming back at you this week for our weekly Howzit video. So I'm going to break from my traditional format of 3 topics. I'm going to stick to one topic this week because it's just too important not to stick with this particular topic. I'm going to talk about the Independent Racial Disparity Review report that was released on 21 December. And we're going to just kind of talk about my thoughts and some of the data that I pulled out of the report after I've had some time to really read through the report. So let's get right into it. What is the review? So the review composed of a team commissioned by the Secretary of Air Force, Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and the Chief Space Operations Officer. And it was designed to be timely. So they had 120 days to complete this report, and it narrowed the scope down to basically looking at racial disparity in numerous areas within our Department of Air Force. 123,000 people responded to a survey within 2 weeks. The report is listing that out of 663,000 people was the total populace of the Air Force. 1,300 people shared their views through person-to-person group discussions. That was out of 38 group discussions at 20 different installations. Over 27,000 single-spaced pages of text was submitted with testimonials. 23 previous commission reports were also reviewed, and a comprehensive review of both the 36 and 51 series AFIs. That's our personnel and legal. They also looked at demographics and military discipline cases, as well as through some of the other reports that showed some of the that went after some of the racial disparity and listed it. So the report came out, and the bottom line of the report is it confirmed that racial disparity exists. That is not debatable. That is what the report stated. What the review is not. I think it's important to understand what you're reading. I had to make sure I understood what the definition of disparity meant, as well as some common vernacular of overrepresentation and underrepresentation as it relates to this report. It's all defined in that report in the first couple of pages. The report did not assess racial bias or individual acts of racism, and it also stated that racial disparity does not automatically mean that racial bias or discrimination is present. Now, that statement is not designed to say that racial discrimination and bias does not exist in our Air Force. It is just saying that this particular report did not address those particular things. That will come with follow-on reports that have been designated and tasked out to accomplish to get after some of the root cause analysis and to get after this. We know by the testimonials that there is racial bias and that there is racial discrimination within our Department of Air Force. That is clear in the themes from some of the testimonials. So I wanted to make sure I was clear on that. Where are we at now? So if you read the back of the report, our most senior leaders are asking for a progress report every 6 months. There's already been multiple tasks to different offices of primary responsibility to get after some of these tasks. It's all outlined in appendix at the end of this report if you're interested in what some of those lines of effort will be moving forward. We are being transparent about where we're at with this report. And to be honest with you, I'm super proud to be a part of an organization that is willing to admit their flaws, to put it out there in public and be transparent, and then hold ourselves accountable. And that is clear by some of the follow-up actions that the report describes are going to happen. We're already starting to see some of the changes trickle down. Just last week, we saw some changes in how we're going to start tracking demographics for admin actions, such as letters of counseling, admonishment, and reprimand. So we're already seeing some changes coming out of this report because we're holding ourselves accountable. As you read the report, I would encourage every airman to read it, at the minimum, the executive summary at the very beginning of the report. It's a very light read, and it's pretty easy to knock out within just less than an hour. And then I would also encourage people to look at the back of where we're going. We are not hiding some of the changes that we're trying to get after in there. When I read it, I will hear some kind of things that I kind of kept myself to. Understand the data. Read with empathy. So trying to avoid basically counter arguing or trying to poke holes in the data or trying to invalidate the data. I was just trying to read it for what the report is. I'm also, when you get into the middle of the report, when you look at testimonials, just acknowledge that one's experience may not be the same as someone else's. So my experience obviously is going to be different than someone else's. So just because I did not see these things or hear about these things or been involved in these things does not mean they did not exist in our Air Force. And so moving forward, we do have a town hall. The 515th AMAL commander, Colonel Terry, and I will be doing a live Facebook Live event to address these same issues and take comments and questions live, and we will also address them through the link below in Suggestion Ox if you feel like we're off base on some of these things or you'd like us to talk about some other topics. It's important to know that our profession of arms is built on a foundation of trust. And the only way that we are going to remain lethal and competitive to a near-peer fight is to continue to build on the trust that we have, and then repair some of the trust that we have violated with some of our airmen. And accountability starts with me as the senior lister and leader of this wing to get after. There is no finish line in this, and until all airmen have the same opportunities and feel like they are valued and respected in this organization, we will not stop trying to make things better for our airmen. So this video is getting long, and I just wanted to make sure that I tackled some of these important issues and got this out there for you guys to give something to talk about within your formations. It is extremely important as we move forward that all of our airmen are comfortable sharing their stories. All supervisors and leaders should be having these conversations and sharing their story and sharing some of their experiences, especially if they are different than what is captured in some of this report. So I encourage all of you to take the leap of faith in your fellow airmen and ensure that we're treating everybody with dignity and respect and giving everybody a voice. So I cannot be more proud to be your command chief, and we live in some great times. We got some big issues to tackle, and I know we have the right people with the right mindset to get after it. So I appreciate it. Be proud of your service. Stay humble of your accomplishments, and always, always take care of each other. Mahalo. Out.